The Convalescent. One morning, not long after his return to the cave, Zarathustra jumped up from his resting place like a madman, roared in a terrible voice, and acted as if somebody else were still lying on his resting place who refused to get up. And Zarathustra's voice resounded so that his animals approached in a fright, while out of all caves and nooks that were near Zarathustra's cave, and all animals fled, flying, fluttering, crawling, jumping, according to the kind of feet or wings that were given to them. Zarathustra, however, spoke these words. "Up, abysmal thought, out of my depth, I am your cock and drawn, sleepy worm. Up, up, my voice shall yet crow you awake. Unfasten the fetters of your ears. Listen, for I want to hear you. Up, up. Here is thunder enough to make even tombs learn to listen, and wipe sleep and all that is purblind and blind out of your eyes. Listen to me even with your eyes. My voice cures even those born blind, and once you are awake, you shall remain awake eternally. It is not my way to awaken great-grandmothers from their sleep, to bid them sleep on. You are stirring, stretching, wheezing. Up, up, you shall not wheeze, but speak to me. Zarathustra, the godless, summons you. I, Zarathustra, the advocate of life, the advocate of suffering, the advocate of the circle, I summon you, my most abysmal thought. Hail to me. You are coming. I hear you. My abyss speaks. I have turned my ultimate depth inside out into the light. Hail to me. Come here. Give me your hand. Huh? Let go. Huh? Nausea, nausea, nausea. Woe unto me. No sooner had Zarathustra spoken these words than he fell down as one dead, and long remained as one dead. But when he regained his senses, he was pale. Then he trembled and remained lying there, and for a long time he wanted neither food nor drink. This behavior lasted 7 days, but his animals did not leave him by day or night, except that the eagle flew off to get food. And whatever prey he got together, he laid on Zarathustra's resting place. And eventually Zarathustra lay among yellow and red berries, grapes, rose apples, fragrant herbs, and pine cones. But at his feet 2 lambs lay spread out, which the eagle had with difficulty robbed from their shepherds. At last, after 7 days, Zarathustra raised himself on his resting place, took a rose apple into his hand, smelled it, and found its fragrance lovely. Then his animals thought that the time had come to speak to him. "O Zarathustra," they said, "it is now 7 days that you have been lying like this with heavy eyes. Won't you at last get up on your feet again? Step out of your cave. The world awaits you like a garden. The wind is playing with heavy fragrances that want to get to you, and all the brooks would run after you. All things have been longing for you, while you have remained alone for 7 days. Step out of your cave. All things would be your physicians. Has perhaps some new knowledge come to you? Bitter and hard? Like leavened dough you have been lying. Your soul rose and swelled over all its rims. "Oh, my animals," replied Zarathustra, "chatter on like this and let me listen. It is so refreshing for me to hear you chattering. Where there is chattering, there the world lies before me like a garden. How lovely it is that there are words and sounds. Are not words and sounds rainbows and elusive bridges between things which are eternally apart? To every soul there belongs another world. For every soul, every other soul is an afterworld. Precisely between what is most similar, illusion lies on most beautifully, for the smallest cleft is the hardest to bridge. For me, how should there be any outside myself? There is no outside, but all sounds make us forget this. How lovely it is that we forget. Have not names and sounds been given to things that man might find things refreshing? Speaking is a beautiful folly. With that man dances over all things. How lovely is all talking, and all the deception of sounds. With sounds our love dances on many-hued rainbows. "O Zarathustra," the animals said, "to those who think as we do, all things themselves are dancing. They come and offer their hands and laugh and flee and come back. Everything goes, everything comes back. Eternally rolls the wheel of being. Everything dies, everything blossoms again. Eternally runs the year of being. Everything breaks. Everything is joined and new. Eternally the same house of being is built. Everything parts. Everything greets every other thing again. Eternally the ring of being remains faithful to itself. In every now, being begins. Round every here rolls the sphere. There, the center is everywhere. Bent is the path of eternity. "Oh, you buffoons and barrel organs," Zarathustra replied and smiled again. "How well you know what had to be fulfilled in 7 days, and how that monster crawled down my throat and suffocated me. But I bit off its head and spewed it out. And you, have you already made a hurdy-gurdy song of this? But now I lie here, still weary of this biting and spewing, still sick from my own redemption, and you watch all this. Oh, my animals, are even you cruel? For man is the cruelest animal. At tragedies, bullfights, and crucifixions he has so far felt best on earth, and when he invented hell for himself, behold, that was his heaven on earth. When the great man screams, the small man comes running with his tongue hanging from lasciviousness. But he calls it his pity. Man is the cruelest animal against himself, and whenever he calls himself sinner and cross-bearer and penitent, do not fail to hear the voluptuous delight that is in all such lamentation and accusation. And I myself, do I thus want to be man's accuser? Alas, my animals, only this I have learned so far, that man needs what is most evil in him for what is best in him. That whatever is most evil is his best power and the hardest stone for the highest creator, and that man must become better and more evil. My torture was not the knowledge that man is evil, but I cried as no one has yet cried. Alas, that his greatest evil is so very small. Alas, that his best is so very small. The great disgust with man, this choked me, and had crawled into my throat, and what the soothsayer said, all is the same, nothing is worthwhile, knowledge chokes. A long twilight limped before me, a sadness, weary to death, drunken with death, speaking with a yawning mouth. Eternally recurs the man of whom you are weary, the small man. Thus yawned my sadness and dragged its feet, and could not go to sleep. Man's earth turned into a cave for me, its chest sunken. All that is living became human mold, and bones and musty passed to me. My sighing sat on all human tombs and could no longer get up. My sighing and questioning croaked and gagged and gnawed and wailed by day and night. Alas, man recurs eternally. The small man recurs eternally. Naked I had once seen both, the greatest man and the smallest man, all too similar to each other, even the greatest all too human. All too small, the greatest. That was my disgust with man, and the eternal recurrence even of the smallest. That was my disgust with all existence. Alas, nausea, nausea, nausea. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and sighed and shuddered, for he remembered his sickness. But then his animals would not let him go on. Do not speak on, O Convalescent, thus his animals answered him, but go out, where the world awaits you like a garden. Go out to the roses and bees and dovecots, but especially to the songbirds, that you may learn from them how to sing. For singing is for the convalescent. The healthy can speak. And when the healthy man also wants songs, he wants different songs from the convalescent. Oh, you buffoons and barrel organs, be silent, Zarathustra replied and smiled at his animals. How well you know what comfort I invented for myself in 7 days, that I must sing again. This comfort and convalescent I invented for myself. Must you immediately turn this too into a hurdy-gurdy song? Do not speak on, his animals answered him again. Rather, even, O convalescent, fashion yourself a lyre first, a new lyre. For behold, Zarathustra, new lyres are needed for new songs. Sing and overflow, O Zarathustra. Cure your soul with new songs, that you may bear your great destiny, which has never yet been any man's destiny. For your animals know well, O Zarathustra, who you are and must become. Behold, you are the teacher of the eternal recurrence. that is your destiny, that you, as the first, must teach this doctrine. How could this great destiny not be your greatest danger and sickness too? Behold, we know what you teach, that all things recur eternally, and we ourselves too, and that we have already existed a number of times, and all things with us. You teach that there is a great year of becoming, a monster of a great year which must, like an hourglass, turn over and over again, so that it may run down and run out again. And all these years are alike in what is greatest as in what is smallest. And we ourselves are alike in every great year, in what is greatest as in what is smallest. And if you wanted to die now, O Zarathustra, behold, we also know how you would then speak to yourself. But your animals beg you not to die yet. You would speak without trembling, but breathing deeply with happiness, for a great weight and sultriness would be taken from you, who are most patient. Now I die and vanish, you would say, and all at once I am nothing. The soul is as mortal as the body, but the knot of causes in which I am entangled recurs and will create me again. I myself belong to the causes of the eternal recurrence. I come again with this sun, with this earth, with this eagle, with this serpent. Not to a new life or a better life or a similar life. I come back eternally to this same, self-same life, in what is greatest as in what is smallest, to teach again the eternal recurrence of all things, to speak again the word of the great noon of earth and man, to proclaim the overman again to men. I spoke my word. I break of my word. Thus my eternal lot wants it. As a proclaimer, I perish. The hour has now come when he who goes under should bless himself. Thus ends Zarathustra's going under. When the animals had spoken these words, they were silent and waited for Zarathustra to say something to them. But Zarathustra did not hear that they were silent. Rather, he lay still with his eyes closed, like one sleeping, although he was not asleep. For he was conversing with his soul. The serpent, however, and the eagle, when they found him thus silent, honored the great stillness around him and cautiously stole away.